Then you take another cruise on the same ship. So normally when people walk off the ship, you stay on the ship and you carry a badge that says I'm still on vacation. All right? It's that simple. You don't have to disembark in most ports. You can stay on board and you can just relax. When everyone else is sad and leaving, you're happy because you're continuing. And you can just keep adding legs to the back-to-back experience. So let's say you want to do 4 legs of a back-to-back. That's very simple. We're going to have 4 cruises sequentially in a row. And you will receive all of your latitude benefits on each leg of those cruises. Plus you can use multiple cruise next deposits on that booking. If you're doing your air with Norwegian, we will bring you into the beginning port and we will fly you out of the ending port. Totally your choice. There's a lot of ways to add on to these and things like that. I start this, it's kind of an extraordinary journeys presentation as well. We talk about the Middle East. Now, there's a lot of changes going on with cruises out of the Middle East. Some we are projecting that current scenarios will be resolved by 2026. Okay? Bear that in mind when you're looking at these itineraries. We may not be going there today, but we're hoping by 2026, the Suez is back open, let's say, okay? Or Israel is back to a state of normalcy, all right? That's what the cruise industry does because we project out 2 years, 2-3 years. So don't necessarily judge the cruise on present, judge it on what's happening in the future, because the good thing is, you can make changes or cancellations to those cruises before your final payment. All right? So up to 120 days before the cruise, you can change it. It doesn't matter. And you never lose your cruise next credits, nor any money that you have already paid would all be refunded back to you, or you can simply change the cruise. It's all very simple. So let's talk about the Middle East for a little bit. This is the Journey of the Kings, as I like to talk about it. One of the favorite cruises is from Doha to Port Louis in Mauritius. All right? That's a great cruise that you can back-to-back with a South Africa cruise. It's very simple to do that. It's going to be on the Norwegian Dawn for the next 3 years that we know of. That's how far we're projected out. So you're going to be on this ship. Now this ship gets renovated when you get off. That's why everybody has to leave, because you're going to be a construction worker if you stay on board. And it's getting a big facelift, and it will look theoretically new when you come back on it, okay? Some of the things will stay, but other things will go. When we go through this, we do the Seychelles, we do Kenya, we do Tanzania, we do part of Madagascar, and then we come down into Port Louis, which is Mauritius. And as I say, you can always back-to-back that. When I get into Africa, I'll talk about it. This is one that I'm talking about that goes out of Haifa going over to Dubai. Right now, of course, that's not happening. But it is on the schedule for 26, all right? So you can look out to the future with optimism and then make your decision closer to the final payment. It's never a problem to do that. As we go into Africa, we're becoming known for this itinerary. This is the first full season we have been here, okay? So last year we were here with the Norwegian Jade on a partial season. This is the first year we've gotten through the whole thing, all right? And I will tell you it's been a growing experience, let's put it that way. And we've learned a lot. So next year will be a little bit smoother. We always learn when we go into new areas. Please know that. So what we're doing here, this is all going to be on the Norwegian Dawn. This is Doha to Port Louis, as we talked about. And you go through the Seychelles, beautiful Seychelles Islands. and you go to Dubai, the new city as I like to call it, and do some wonderful things there. Of course, you'll go into Kenya, and you'll go into Tanzania as well. And then you can go from Port Louis down to Cape Town. All right? When you do this, you're going to go from Port Louis, you go to Reunion, and then you will go to Fort Dauphin, which is another port in Madagascar. All right? It's a different port. We did not go there this year, for those of you who are back to back to back to back with me. We did not go there this last time. It's a new port for us. And then you will come down the ports of South Africa, and as you look at them, you will see some different ones than what we did this past season. But we always do Richards Bay. Now, I always like to point out to everyone, Richards Bay is a very interesting port. I say it's probably the dirtiest port you'll ever go to because it's all coal. That's where they ship the coal from South Africa from. Those of you who are with us, and when we did this cruise, you know what I'm talking about. You do not wear white that day, or it will instantly change your mood because it will all turn to black. If you see any of our officers and you see their garter boards, their strike boards look a little dingy, it's because they were out in Richards Bay, because it turned everything black. But that's a unique part of it. Port Elizabeth, wonderful, absolutely wonderful port. That's where you go to the Auto Elephant Park. These are excursion-intensive cruises. And I'm going to tell you, I recommend you do them with the cruise line. Because on these exotic and extraordinaries, you never know the risk you are taking. And if you don't get back, we can't wait. For every 15 minutes the ship waits, we are fine. So, we have to go. So if you are not on the ship, unfortunately, we gotta go. Okay? And you gotta find your way from wherever to wherever. And that can be rather interesting. So just an example for you. And then we end this in Cape Town. Wonderful opportunity in Cape Town. You can spend more time there. You can go to the wine country, Franschhoek and Stellenbosch. You can also do a lot of different things out there. You can even go to, there's a wonderful game park you can go and do safari in if you want to extend your stay. If you're doing air with Norwegian Cruise Line, we get you in and out of wherever you're needing to go, okay? There's a couple of tricks to booking back-to-backs. I'm sorry about this computer, but it's way up there and I'm down here. There's nothing I can do. When you're booking back-to-backs, I always recommend that you have your agent book it as an extended voyage. That's an internal term, meaning that it's going to be one continuous reservation number. So the air lines up correctly, you stay in the same cabin, everything is fine, all right? Another tip for you to make sure you write down the words extended voyage. When you do that, they know what you mean. If you're a shareholder and you're getting onboard credit for being a shareholder, which you do if you own stock with Norwegian Cruise Line, that you will also get the onboard credit for each leg of your back-to-back journey, okay? I told you I was going to give you a lot of information today. That's what we're trying to do here, okay? Then we do, this is not going to Barcelona next year, it will go up to Lisbon, all right? So this journey that you're on now will happen next year, but it will not go to Barcelona, it will go to Lisbon. It does have, at this present time, Morocco.
근데 바뀌네. 카사블랑카로 바뀌네. 이게 더 좋네. 카보베르데도 가고.
If you're doing just this cruise,
이게 훨씬 좋은데?
I recommend you do our pre-cruise tour in South Africa. We do a 4-day, 3-night pre-cruise tour. Now we do that on a lot of our major cities, such as South Africa, London, Tokyo, a lot of Asia, any of those. You come in 4 days early. You do guided tours in all of these ports, and you get to really experience experience it. On this particular one, I really like it out of South Africa because you're 3 days or 2 days in the Western Table Mountain. You do Table Mountain excursion, you do a couple of other excursions, then you leave and you go to Aquila, which is one of the major game parks, and you do a safari. You do 1 night in the lodge at Aquila, and then you come back and you join the ship after another game drive. So you do 2 game drives, and Aquila has the Big 5. If you don't know what the Big 5 is, come see me or Download or Mario, and we'll tell you what they are, okay? But you can combine all this stuff together. There's a lot of ways to customize your experience, okay? But next year it will go up to Lisbon, all right? So it'll stop in Lisbon. And then it'll go somewhere else. So you can always extend it. There's a lot of ways to do different things. The Sky will be doing this as well. And then we're gonna go over to Asia. Turn to the World Cruise flyer, and if you look at the middle of the page, that is all Asia, okay? Now, you can do the whole World Cruise, and it's going to cost you, or take you 190 days, and cost you about $110,000 in a balcony for 2, all right? Or you can do sections. You have a lot of people doing that. But you have a lot of Philippines, Thailand, you always, it's going to encompass Japan, you have Southern Korea, you have all of those things available to you in this. Asia is the land of enchantment. I love Asia, it's fantastic, it gives you a lot of opportunity. Now, we're just going to start in the Philippines. All of our Filipino crew is very glad we're sailing out of the Philippines. We're sailing out of Manila. We do Boracay, we do Cebu, we do a couple
요거는 괜찮은 것 같습니다.
basically 4 ports in the Philippines.
네.
I tell everyone if you're going to Asia, please make sure
싱가포르이 마지막이 아니고 쿠알라룸푸르가 마지막이라 이건 좋은 것 같아요.
It's one of the best countries I've ever sailed to. It's beautiful.
네.
The people are
브루나이도 가고.
It gives you a great journey there. So we have a lot of opportunities to go to Vietnam. Of course, Ho Chi Minh City being one of the major ports there. We do Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Part of the thing that I like to talk to people about is when you're going to Asia, on a cruise ship, you're covering a lot of ports in a little amount of time. All right, so that's the beauty of going on a cruise ship. It's an overview, it's a taste. And you see what you might want to come back to spend more time on land, possibly, as an extended land vacation. But that's the reason that doing all of these different ports is quite interesting and good, okay? Then we do Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia. Malaysia is a beautiful country, especially if you like beaches, all right? They have some beautiful unspoiled beaches there. Thailand being another one. Again, this is Taipei over to Bangkok. Thailand, a lot of people like Thailand. Of course, Bangkok is a huge city.
이것도 괜찮네.
There's a lot to do there. But as you see, this is laid out in a rather sequential order, if you look at it, on the Sky as part of this world cruise. And of course, a lot of people.
네, 우리나라 가는 거죠. From 서울.
We go to Japan
네,
in March. We do that primarily for one reason.
서울에서 일본 가는.
Now, I like to tell everyone, don't get too hung up on that, because if any of you from the U.S. have ever tried to go to D.C. to see the cherry blossoms, it's an exercise in futility. Because one rain and it's over, all right? One wind and it's finished. You're looking at them on the ground. It doesn't matter. It's still beautiful. You just might not get your iconic picture, which is right up there, that everyone wants, which is Mount Fuji with the cherry blossoms in the foreground. Totally understand that. But I will tell you the cherry blossoms are coming a little earlier this year. They came early. They started blooming around March 7th, and they usually last for about 11 days, unless there is rain. So that's kind of a good barometer for you to know when you're looking at booking. I do have several guests that have booked the Japan both sides, Taiwan to Japan and Japan to South Korea. So they're getting a little bit more immersive experience in there, okay? And then we have guests that want to go to India. This is not on the slide, but I'm going to talk about it here because it goes out of Singapore, and you can do 4 ports in India. We do, of course, the coastal ports of India. India is a massive country, but you do get to go to the 4 ports in India. It gives you a good taste of India, which you might really enjoy. And that would be, it starts actually on March the 29th and ends on April the 11th. It's a 14-day cruise. So that will give you the opportunity to enjoy that. Now, let's talk about down under Australia and New Zealand. Another wonderful opportunity to back-to-back these. So you do French Polynesia.
저거는 작년에 갔었죠?
Over to Sydney or to Melbourne. So next year we're going to Melbourne, we're not going to Sydney. And the following year, 26, we're going back to Sydney. So a bunch of changes up there, but that's okay. We've sailed out of Sydney for many years. We want to do something different and take our guests into Melbourne. So it's another great opportunity. But when we do French Polynesia, we go out of Papeete, we do Moorea, we do Riata, which is Bora Bora, then we go over to Pago Pago, which is American Samoa, beautiful island, and then we do the 2 ports in Fiji, and then we'll come down and do New Caledonia, which is the Isle of Pines, of course, ending next year in Melbourne, the following year in Sydney. And then you can back-to-back that, either out of Melbourne or out of Sydney, depending upon the year that you do it, and you'll do the southern part of Australia, and we go down even as far as Burnie, which is right there. That's the island at the end of Australia. That's Tasmania, for those of you who might not know. And then we go over and we sail the 3 sounds, the Doubtful, the Dusky, and the Milford, and up and around Australia, ending in Auckland. All right? So it gives you a full immersion. I like to tell people that don't know this region, these 2 countries are very different. Australia and New Zealand are very different countries. Do I have any Australians here? Would you agree with me? Thank you very much. I always get a thumbs up when I say that. But they are very different countries, each having its own uniquenesses, okay? And I tell everybody, when you're going to New Zealand, you'll find the Hobbit House, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Look at a slide, you'll figure it out. So another opportunity is that we do have a cruise this year, and it's repeating in 26. It's going up the north side of Australia. We used to do a circumnavigation. It took 32 days, and out of 32 days, there were 20 sea days. All right, that's a lot of time, and it just wasn't as popular as we wanted it or needed it to be. So we don't do that circumnavigation anymore, but we do go to the north. So we go out of Sydney, and we go to Brisbane, wonderful architectural city. We'll go to Ayers Beach, coast down, we'll go over to Darwin, and then we go up into Bali. The back-to-back of this, it goes from Bali over to Singapore. So that gives you another opportunity. This is happening December of this year. So you can look at that in advance and then go over to Singapore. So the Norwegian Spirit. It's a ship that we usually have that does that area of the world. Now let's talk about the Northern Europe schedules. Very popular for cruising now. It's a great way to go and see a lot of unique places. Norway, Greenland, Iceland.
네, 제가 갔던 곳 중에서 제일 멋있었던 데 중에 하나입니다. 북유럽, 아이슬란드.
11-day journey over to Reykjavik, and if you want to do a back-to-back, you stay on board and come back through the same itinerary into Southampton. I do have a lot of people that do this. It becomes 21 days because they want to experience these ports a little bit more immersively. You overnight in Reykjavik when you go from Southampton over, and then when you come back, you don't do the overnight. So you'll have 3 days in Reykjavik if you do it as a back-to-back. All right? More when we do the cruises on the Norwegian Star as back-to-back journeys. So we have a cruise that starts in Reykjavik. It does the 3 ports of Iceland. It goes over.
저기를 못 갔네, 아이슬란드를.
Greenland. This is where I always give my Greenland disclaimer.
그린란드인데, 그린란드.
Before you know what I'm about to say. Greenland is a fragile
그린란드
ecosystem,
루크를 가봐야 되는데.
and the future of cruise ships we just don't know. The native Greenlanders don't really want cruise ships there because they feel like it is impeding and destroying the ecosystem and the natural wonders of Greenland. So, right now, we're going. We don't know how long we're going to be going because when you read the press, you just don't know. It's kind of like Venice, okay? We were going, and all of a sudden we weren't going. And if you look at the pictures, you know why. That's fine. So we always respect the natural, we are always under the approval of the authorities. But right now we're going, and sometimes you do miss ports in Greenland because of wind. Wind is a difficult scenario with a cruise ship. How many of you know what I'm talking about? It happens, okay? If you're on deck 12, you know what I'm talking about even better. But wind can cause us to miss ports. Now this is on the Prima, or it's a very tall ship when you're doing the Prima, so wind is a little bit more affected. A smaller ship like the Star, it's not as affected, but it can happen. You can do, from Reykjavik, you can go way far north. The Norwegian Star is the only ship that you can go
롱에비엔도
as far
참
north
인상
and
깊었던
as far
곳입니다.
south on the same cruise ship.
북극이죠, 북극.
They actually have somebody made T-shirts, not the cruise line, but some independent person made T-shirts. People wear them on the Star that says, "I am bipolar, P-O-L-A-R, because I did the Norwegian Star, north and south." The farthest north you go is this very long word, which is really Spitsbergen. That is the farthest north that we can go. After that, you need a nice cutter ship. This is Spitsbergen, we overnight there, then we come down and we do Hannesvag. We overnight there traditionally, and then we end this cruise in a port called Tromsø. Anybody ever heard of Tromsø that hasn't been on a cruise? I'd never heard of it until the cruise line started going there. Okay, if you're Norwegian, you knew about it, but it is a port that's been in existence a very long time. However, we needed a port to embark and disembark in Northern Europe, in the northern part of Norway. So we worked it out with them, we created a terminal there, and that's where we go out of. This is one that I love to tell people, if you're going on this, look your air for Norwegian, because air in the Tromsø, Norway is not very plentiful. So we actually do a charter out of there. So we work it out for you. We can explain all the information to you about our charter program or our air program and help you understand it a little bit more. If you like long cruises, you can actually back-to-back this one with this cruise. It goes from Tromsø and it ends in Reykjavik. It is 14 ports in 14 days. For those of you who don't like sea days, this is your cruise, okay? You need a vacation after your vacation on that one. Or you can do this one, which will go from Oslo to Southampton. It goes through some wonderful ports, so you do a lot of ports in Norway. Of course, you do Bergen and Ålesund, which are two of the biggest. And then you come down and you do Reykjavik, you'll do the 4 ports of Iceland, go over to the Faroe Islands, come down to the Shetland Islands, ultimately going through Scotland, ending in Southampton. Okay? So there's a lot of opportunity. You've got the sheets. That's just an example. But of course, as always, the best way to save money on these is with your cruise next.
이렇게 프레젠테이션이 끝난 것 같습니다. 나머지는 광고입니다. 다 또 가고 싶은 곳이나 또 안 가본 곳, 가보고 싶은 곳들이 다 합니다, 다. 네, 하나도 모르겠습니다. 그냥 프레디 머큐리가 아프리카 어디에 태어난 건 알고 있고 하나도 못 맞히게, 하나도.
You never know, you might not have scored 3. It might be harder than you think. So folks, let's find out some answers. And like I always say,
정답
it's not
봅시다.
about winning or losing in trivia. So even if you don't get it right, that means you've learned
공부하는 셈
something.
치고
And what's
봅시다.
better than the gift
퀴즈
of
문제는 많이 나올
knowledge?
거니까.
The answer is 2 points on your activity reward cards. That's what it is. Still money. 1. Who is the group's bass player? John Deacon.
존
Number
디컨.
2. What year was Queen officially formed?
몰라요.
1970.
세븐티야. 70년.
Number 3. Before settling on the name Queen, the
뭐였습니까?
band had another name. What was it?
뭐였습니까?
Smile.
스마일이야.
Someone watched the movie lately.
네.
No, I'm good.
심플하게
I'm
졌네
having fun with
아주.
it. Number 4. What was the first single ever released by Queen?
뭡니까?
Keep Yourself Alive.
Keep Yourself Alive라는 노래랍니다. 네. 노래가 나와야 하지 알겠죠 제가?
5. In 1985, Queen delivered a legendary performance at what global charity concert event? Live Aid.
와.
Someone's got like at least 2 now, yeah?
야.
Oh dear. Number 6. Who replaced outgoing band member Tim Staffel?
누굽니까? 아, 그렇구나.
7. Killer Queen first appeared on what album?
킬러. 아, 씨.
Sheer Heart Attack.
하트어택. 네, 모르겠습니다.
8. What song features the line In Rain or Shine, You Stood By Me, Girl?
뭡니까?
You're my best friend.
My best friend.
Number 9. In 2018, Freddie Mercury was portrayed by which
누구야?
actor in the
누가? 네.
biographical film Bohemian Rhapsody?
누구였습니까?
Rami Malek. If you just put
Malek.
Rami, I'll take it. It's fine.
라미 말렉.
If you just put Malek, that's also just fine.
If you put nothing,
10.
just
10.
fine.
What movie featured a famous scene in which the main characters lip sync the song
보헤미안.
Bohemian Rhapsody? Wayne's World.
웨인스 월드라는 노래가 있었나? 그 영화가 있었나?
Number 11. Bohemian Rhapsody appeared on what album? A Night at the Opera.
아, 앨범 위에 저거야. 원나잇에
12. Who wrote the song Radio Gaga?
가가.
Roger Taylor.
로저 테일러.
What is Freddie Mercury's real name?
뭡니까?
Farrokh
사라.
Bulsara.
파로크 불사라. 파로크 불사라. 아, 이거 알아야 되는데 이거는. 파로크 불사라.
14. What was Freddie Mercury's primary role in the band Queen? He
리드
was the lead
보컬리스트.
vocalist.
이거는 뭐 알 것
I'm just having
같아요.
fun with you. Singer, lead vocalist, all that jazz, you know. Tomato, tomato. That's what that is. 15. What was the title of Queen's 1989 album, which was
뭡니까?
released after a 4-year break?
The miracle.
아는 사람이 많네.
16. In which country was Freddie Mercury born?
탄자니아?
Zanzibar, which is
탄자니아.
Tanzania.
예, 탄자니아.
So you
예.
said Zanzibar or Tanzania, I will take it.
예,
This is
탄자니아.
fun
예.
trivia.
네.
17.
아, 요거 하나 알았죠,
Who
제가?
sang the song Flash for soundtrack of what movie? Flash.
플래시 골드.
Water.
몰라요.
No, this is supposed to be
하나 맞췄습니다. 탄자니아. 아,
No, I'm going to stop because otherwise we'll be here all day. 18. In what year did Queen receive the Brit Award for Outstanding Contribution to Music?
1970. 1990.
1990.
되게 늦었네.
19. Who recorded the song Under Pressure with Queen? David Bowie.
몰랐어요.
20. Who is the group's drummer?
로저 테일러.
Roger Taylor.
네, 이렇게 20문제
Alright, ladies and
풀어봤습니다.
gentlemen. Okay, you can see a whole bunch of different numbers. And at the top of the numbers, there's a bunch of categories, which are geography, sport, movies, animals, science, and random. At the end, we have final Jeopardy, which is only accessible once we have completed all rounds. Now, how we are going to play this today. We're going to go down the line. When it's your turn, I will let you pick a category and a point value. Now, the lower the point value, the easier the topic will be. The higher it is, the more challenging it will be. But that's more points for you potentially. Now, you have to get the answer correct to get the points. If not, I'm not going to put any penalty on today. We're going to keep it relaxed. And then either way, we'll move down the line and just keep going around until you hit away. But, here it is. This will not ask you a question. No. This will show you an answer. You have to figure out what is the question. Get it right, you get the points. Get it wrong, nothing. Sound good? Keeping it simple, keeping it fun, and most importantly, keeping it light-hearted. So, contestant number 1, where would you like to start?
I'll take geography for 10.
Bold choice. Alright, geography for 10 points. Now, these are beautiful green lights that can be seen in the northern hemisphere during the winter months. What I need you to do now is tell me, what is the question? If that is an answer, what would the question be? And you have to answer it like a question. That's very important. Audience, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but please do not help our contestants.
What are northern lights?
Is the answer what are northern lights? Jahan. Yeah! Well done. You got a whopping 10 points. So I'm not strong. Fantastic. Now we'll go back to our main screen. Lovely.
Geography for 30.
Geography for 30. The largest continent on Earth. The largest continent on Earth.
쉽다.
And your answer is in 5.
What is North America?
Is the answer what is North America? What is Asia? What is Asia? The answer is delicious.
쉬웠는데.
Okay. What is Asia? Okay, unfortunately no points, but that's okay. Going back to the main screen.
질문을 맞추는 거군요.
Geography for 50. Oh. An African country whose capital city is known as that. Look, if I try to say that, I'm going to butcher it and offend someone. How do you feel, Mike?
What is 오가도고?
5,
아 저기 거긴데.
3, 2, 1.
저
You don't otherwise you're helping him.
가운데 있는 나라인데.
Is the answer I don't know? It is not. It is.
Burkina Faso.
What is Burkina Faso?
네.
Going back to the main screen, and we're going back to the top. Geography for 40. We like geography today. A Canadian province that makes 77% of the world's maple syrup. Is it? What is Ontario? It is what is Quebec. Never mind. Moving on. Maureen.
Clear the category. 20.
Okay, we're going to take geography for 20. A sea that the King James Bible refers to as the Salt Sea. A sea that the King James Bible refers to as the Salt Sea.
What is the Dead Sea?
Is it what is the Dead Sea?
Yeah.
It is! What is the Dead Sea? Well done! You just got yourself 20 points. Very nice. Alright, let's go back to the main screen. Mike.
Science for 30.
Science for 30.
Science.
This is the hardest naturally occurring substance.
What is diamond?
Is it what is diamond?
What is diamond?
What is a diamond? I think you should buy your wife if you want this vacation to go well.
그렇죠.
Going back to the main
쉬웠죠.
screen. Okay, going back round to the top.
I'll take random for 20.
Random for 20. She is a talk show host who said, I admire, respect, and adore authors when she was honored for her book club. Once again, she is a talk show host who said, I admire, respect, and adore authors when she was honored for her book club.
Who is Oprah Winfrey?
Oprah Winfrey.
그렇지.
Is it who is Oprah Winfrey?
Oprah Winfrey지.
Yeah! Well done. Who is Oprah? Very nice. Okay.
Sports for 20.
Sports for 20. Yeah! The diameter
Inches.
of a basketball hoop in inches.
Do I have leeway? No.
I'll leave that up to Johan.
림.
Give me an answer, and then I'll let my scorer decide.
16 inches.
Give it to me like a question.
Sorry, what is 16 inches?
John, move on. John. What is 18? John's going to give you half points. Wow, he's a lot nicer than me. Okay. Mike, science for 40. Science for 40. This was the first genetically engineered organism. This was the first genetically engineered organism.
What is a virus?
Is it what is a virus? What is tobacco? We're going to Google that after the show.
맞아.
Give him a half point for that, and we're just going to move on. Okay, back to the top.
I'll take sports for 30.
Sports for 30. An African country is considered as the first ever to qualify for a FIFA World Cup. An African country is considered as the first ever to qualify for a FIFA World Cup.
이집트.
Is it what is Cameroon?
이집트. What is 이집트? 이집트죠.
What is Egypt?
Yeah.
So close and yet. Alright, moving on.
Animals for 20.
Animals for 20. It is the name of a baby elephant.
베이비
It is
엘리펀트가
the
뭐였더라?
name of a baby
What is
elephant.
cute?
야,
What is a calf?
Johan? What is it? Yeah. Well done.
베이비 엘리펀트도
It was at this
카프로구나.
point the game show started to derail. Alright. Mike, what you got for me?
Give me science for 20.
Science for 20. By mass, it is the most abundant element in the human body. By mass, it is the most abundant element in the human body.
What is
What is carbon?
What is
카본?
carbon?
카본.
What is
옥시즌. 아, 옥시즌.
We'll Google that too. Moving on. Okay.
I'll take random again for 30.
Random for 30. This is a mollusk that captures its prey with its 8 arms, bites it with its beak, and injects poison from its salivary glands.
아, 뭐야 이거?
Salivary glands.
What is an octopus?
Is it what is an octopus?
아, yeah.
Yeah! Well done.
맞네.
Moving on.
Movies for 30.
Movies for Thursday.
아, 어려운 거 나온다.
This was the original wording of the Hollywood sign. This was the original wording of the Hollywood sign.
아, LA? Where is?
That's what I would say, Dick.
What is I don't know?
Is it what is I don't know? It is
Hollywood.
what is Hollywood
Hollywood.
land?
아,
Means that you've learned something. Moving on.
So how many more rounds do we have? Oh, till the whole thing's done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I started to cut off. I know how much the back. Sorry. No.
I mean, you were lucky. Well, you were good with job.
Well, I've had 2 questions so far that I protest, but that's okay. Give me sports for 40.
Sports for 40. This is a basketball move which was banned between the years 1967 and 1976. Once again, this is a basketball move which was banned between the years 1967 and 1976.
블럭?
You a basketball fan, Mike?
What is the slam dunk?
슬램 덩크야? 덩크야? 진짜? 덩크야?
What was the 4-point offense? Jahan?
슬램 덩크야.
Slam dunk.
아, 그랬어?
Now you know. Now you know. Okay.
그걸 금지하면 어떡해.
Back to the top.
I'll take animals for 30, please.
Animals for how many? For 30? It is the Italian name of squid whose meat is firm and chewy. Once again, it is the Italian name of squid whose meat is
What
firm and
is-
chewy.
뿔뽀? 뻘뽀?
What is calamari?
깔라마리,
Is it what is
깔라마리.
calamari?
야야야야.
Very tasty. Well done. Very nice. Okay.
Pick animals for 40.
Animals for 40. These are quadrupeds, can open their jaws to 150 degrees, and are strong enough to bite a crocodile in half.
What is a hippopotamus?
히포.
Is it what is a
Right.
hippopotamus?
예.
Yeah!
My
Right.
safari did good, eh?
히포.
See, isn't this trip paying off? Alright.
Well, I'm going to do science for 10. I got to get one of these.
Let's hope this is your round. These are the only 2 planets in our solar system without moons. Is it one of Mercury, Venus?
Venus and Mercury.
Yay!
맞아요.
You got a science question right! Dreams do come true. Alright, go back to the top.
I'll go with random for 40.
Random for 40. Luckily, this pudding served with roast beef doesn't contain the terriers of the same name. British people shh. You can feel it in your audience.
What is kidney pudding?
breaking my heart. Jahan, what is Yorkshire? What is it, Yorkshire pudding? That's okay. You learned something, it's
모르겠어요.
fine.
어렵네.
You haven't lived until you've had a Yorkshire pudding. Alright.
I'll do random for 50.
Random for 50. Yes, the 50 questions are coming in. Alright, here we go. This is the only state capital city in the USA with not a single McDonald's fast food joint. Once again, this is the only state capital city in the USA with not a single McDonald's fast food joint.
Not a good question for a Canadian.
Audience.
What is Albuquerque?
Is it what is Albuquerque? It is what is Montpelier, Vermont.
아, 그래.
We've all learned something today. Okie dokie. Mike.
I'll go animals for 10. I'm going to 10 myself to that there.
Animals for 10. The mammal that is the most common pet in the United States. Is it what is a dog?
또. 돼지야? 아, 진짜? 미국에서 돼지야?
Dog owners, put your hands up. Cat people. Cat fans have it. I'm sorry, Mike. Alright. Movies for 10. This Alfred Hitchcock thriller is notorious for its shocking
마디스 저거죠? 네, 사이코.
Audience.
사이코죠,
Let
사이코.
him have the easy one.
What is Carrie?
오.
You may find out physically later on. Is it what is Gary? It's what is Psycho.
사이코지.
It's okay.
아이, 나도 하는 건데.
Movies for 20.
Movies for 20. The character that Emma Watson made her acting debut with as this book friend of Harry Potter.
What is Geronimo?
What?
I'm sorry, I'm not a Harry Potter person.
What is Geronimo? It is who is Hermione Granger?
예.
Friend of Harry Potter. Now you know.
Mike, sports for 10.
Sports for 10. It is a sport that is dubbed as the king of sports.
마디스. 사코. 마디 사코. 사코.
Is it what is boxing?
에이.
What
사코.
is football?
사코야, 사코.
Who knows? Going back to the top. Sports for 50. This is the shoe brand which Usain Bolt was wearing when set a world record for
Nike,
100
What's
meters.
Nike?
What is Nike?
예.
Is it what is Nike?
아디다스 아니었나? 푸마야? 그렇구나.
I can feel the tension, not just from the audience, from my contestants.
Animals 50.
Animals for 50. A carnivore whose scientific name is Ursus martinis.
아,
Beautiful
저거
background,
뭐다?
not very helpful.
공룡, 디노사우루스 뭐 이런 거 아니야?
What is a
Almost
crocodile?
Is it what is a crocodile?
맘모스인가? 베어, 폴라 베어야?
I wouldn't have expected any kind of
아이고.
It's okay. Oh well, moving on.
벌써 뭐 이게
Science for 50.
This has gone so well. Science for 50! The three main parts of a comet are the nucleus, the tail, and the...
스멜 파처.
The ship's not it, that's right. It's the, I don't know, cloud thing that comes after.
Is it... What is the cloud?
코마.
What is a comma? Moving on. Okay, last three. Random for 10. A British game that includes the fielding positions, wicket-keeper, square leg and gully.
What is cricket?
크리켓.
It is! Well done! What is cricket? And now you can relax.
Movies for the
Movies! She left you 3 down the alley there, Mike. Alright, movies for 40. This is the song that plays over the opening credits of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Come on, get your love. Come on, get
I'm getting
your
booed before I answer. What's up?
Come on, get your love. 네, 격리돼 있는 동안 가디언스 오브 더 갤럭시를
Is it one is not
봤습니다.
jealous? It is not. It is one is come and get your love.
맞았죠?
Alright, Mike. Let's see if this one can be kind to you. This was the first feature-length animated movie ever released.
미키마우스 뭐야? 애니메이티드 무비.
Is it what is Steamboat Willie? What is Snow White?
Snow White, yeah.
So I can see where you were going with that. But then feature-length movie. Alright, now here's what we're going to do with Final Jeopardy. When we show it on the screen, you can buzz by audibly just going buzz. Now if you buzz in, I will accept you in the order that you buzzed. Okay, first person who buzz gets the first crack at it. Now if you're correct, I'll give you 100 points! If you're wrong, I'll deduct 100 points.
No, we don't have
You do not have... Some of you do! You do not have to answer at all if you don't want to. Audience, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but let them have this final one. Are you guys ready? Okay? Johan, Final Jeopardy. It's the only country that borders both the Caspian Sea and the Persian Gulf. Okay.
What is Iran?
Is it... What is Iran? Is
Yeah.
anyone else going to vote? Bonus 100 points! Well done. Okay. Now, Johan is going to count up all of the points real quickly, but I'm pleased to say that no one is going to go home empty-handed. You are all going to get some prizes. Have they not been wonderful, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you to all of you. But there can be only one true winner. And the winner oh, that's surprising. Wow. Okay. I'm just being dramatic, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The winner of tonight's Jeopardy is Mike! That last question literally saved you right there. And we are pleased to say, Mike, you're going to walk away Well, everyone's going to get a very special Norwegian Cruise Line plastic pouch. Mike, you're going to get a bonus prize of a wine tumbler as well. One more time, can we give them a round of applause?
이렇게 풀어봤습니다. 네, 왜 이렇게 화면이 떨리냐?